Good morning, everyone. Lots going on as usual. It's Monday, September 1st, 2025. Happy Labor Day. And the RCMP are going to be moving into more of a FBI kind of configuration. And that's weird. That's a weird thing because they're doing contract policing. And sorry, my computer's giving me a hard time right now, but I think we're all right now. They're doing contract policing in Alberta, and Danielle Smith's worried that the RCMP just leave them high and dry like they were left high and dry in the 1917. So she's trying to mitigate that risk, she says. So that's interesting if you ask me, and I'll show you that video. The OPP can't get their man, even with the car being easily identifiable with the license plate. They are asking for the public's help. I tried to send them the license plate, but they didn't. They had responses turned off. You couldn't respond to them on the Twitter thing, on the X thing. Banks are profiting a whole bunch of money, and we're going to be talking about immigration early on in today's show as well. But they're profiting to the tune of billions of dollars because of the number of people coming into the country, and that's very concerning because that's an incentive to keep this problem going, to continue it down the line, rather than to have, banks and other people say, we really should stop this, it's damaging the country. They're like, well, it may be damaging the country, but our bottom line is doing great, right? So the banks are incentivized to continue this whole thing, or at least stay quiet on it and continue profiting in the billions, because hey, who doesn't want to profit in the billions, right? Home invasions, and a guy was murdered in front of his family in Vaughan, and that's where we're going to start today. So lots to get to. Let's get to it. I know it's Labor Day, but holy cow, I couldn't believe this story. This story started breaking yesterday afternoon, evening. Mario did a video on it, and initially when I saw it, I thought, I don't know if this is actually a real story or if this is just a rumor, but it sounds like this is a real story, a home invasion, quote, gone wrong. And three guys were terrorizing a family, and they ended up murdering the father in front of the wife and three kids, and just jaw-dropping stuff. Makes you want to increase your security and or get a Terminator bot to stand outside of your house. Holy cow, right? 401 Desparnich says, YRP homicide investigation underway after a person was found dead in a Vaughan home. Multiple suspects fled the area. A family member said allegedly a group of armed burglars broke into the home and killed the man in front of his wife and kids. Holy frigging crap. This is just a nightmare, right? Michelle Ferreri, who's a former MP, says this is as serious as it gets, Sean Fraser. Time to do your job. People are being murdered. It most definitely is the Wild West, and you need to support conservative policies and work together if change is going to happen. They don't want change to happen. They want people to fight back, and then when they fight back, they say, these white people are mean, and then they crack down with more laws that will prevent us from being able to keep ourselves safe in our own neighborhoods. Here's a write-up. I believe this is true, but I haven't verified it. I don't know if I could verify it, but this is kind of what's going around about what happened with this home invasion, and it's short, but this is from Real Ron Cheisner, and he says, Dear residents of Vaughan, this shooting where a father of three kids died was a family friend of mine. It was a robbery which went wrong. The robbers put a gun to the guy's daughter's head and demanded all valuables, and that the family had to watch the robbers kill their father. How much longer are we going to let these criminals terrorize our communities? When will the government bring reform into the system which encourages criminals to commit these acts because they know the system is so weak, even if they get caught, it's simple catch and release. Holy cow. Yesterday during the kitchen table talk, Bill was talking about how he would absolutely do the time. He would protect his family, do what he needed to do, and if that meant using a gun or something to that effect that he had in the house, he would absolutely do that. I'm putting words into his mouth, but he just said he would do what he needed to do vis-a-vis the guy who was arrested for cutting the guy in Lindsay, Ontario, right? He was arrested and charged with assault after having somebody break in with a weapon, and now people are breaking in and killing people in front of their families. I think that I would do whatever's necessary as well, but holy cow, man, what a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. And what is Mark Carney focusing on? 365 Pride. Pride is talking about, well, here's Mark Carney's announcement from yesterday. This is the Liberal Party's attempt to shoehorn Pride into Canada all the time, not just during the summer Pride, quote, season now, which they've expanded from Pride Week to Pride Month to Pride Season to Pride Year. Here we go.
Pride is a promise. It is a promise to every young person, regardless of their identity, that they'll be able to walk through their school doors without being afraid of whether they can get safely through their day.
But if you're a father and you have a family and a house and people break into your home, your safety is not something that we're concerned about. Your protection is not something we're concerned about. And if those criminals shoot and kill that father, the Liberal government's not even going to say a damn word about it. Nothing. These guys are focused 100% on 2030 agenda, nonsense, quote, safety, while letting criminals run rampant in our streets. We need to remove these people. These people don't work for us. They work for globalists who are destabilizing not only our country, but the whole West. It's incredible. And we're going to talk about how England is being destabilized in this invasion section coming up. But that's enough pride for me. I just wanted to show you. And yes, indeed, they are pushing this all year. I'm just sick and tired of listening to Mark Carney talk about pride. Here's the RCMP. No, not the RCMP, the OPP. And they're incompetent. They're absolutely 100% incompetent. OPP Central Region says a follow-up video to the Bracebridge OPP's earlier statement. We're aware, we're investigating careless firearms usage endangers lives. Bracebridge OPP continue to actively investigate and monitor the area to ensure public safety. Do you recognize these individuals or have information that could help? Call us or report anonymously via Crime Stoppers. And you can't reply to this. Help us. We don't know who's doing this evil stuff. But like, here's the license plate. It's in the video. The license plate of the car is right. It's right there. Here's somebody who took a still for you, police officers. It's right here. You need help with this? Do you need help running the plate? Are you idiots? What is wrong with you people? How do you not know? How are you unaware of who's doing this? Ryan says, how have they not found them yet? I'm almost certain the video showed a license plate. They have all their faces. Let's find these people. So here is the Bracebridge OPP saying, oh, we can't do our jobs. We're really bad at doing our jobs. Imagine if somebody broke into your house in the middle of the night and murdered you in front of your family. Do you think they'd be able to find those people either? I have my doubts at this point in time. Holy cow.
Many of you have seen the videos circulating on social media showing individuals discharging firearms in a careless and unsafe manner. We have as well, and we've been investigating for some time. These actions pose serious risks to the
confidence in the police is continuing to plummet as the video goes on.
Safety of everyone nearby, and continue to actively monitor the area. And now we need your help. If you're able to identify any of these individuals or have information, please contact the Bracebridge OPP at 1-888-310-1122. Or if you want to stay anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Public safety remains our top priority. Let's work together to keep our communities safe.
If they've been investigating for some time and they've got patrols in the area and they still haven't been able to find these guys who are shooting off guns on the same bridge all the time, and they have the license plate, right? Are you those guys who drive this car around sometimes and shoot off the bridge there? No? Okay. Well, if you see them driving this car here with this license plate with 4 Indian guys, you 4 Indian guys, you let me know. Okay? Have a good day. What's that off in the distance? I don't know. Nothing probably. Okay. Let's just carry on monitoring this main roadway. Kirk says, I'm trying to understand how Ontario Provincial Police have a hard time finding the foreigners shooting guns and leaving garbage everywhere. Chief Wiggum is the person who's in charge? I have no idea. Maybe they've been paid off. Yeah, we just can't seem to see these guys driving that Honda with that clear license plate that we have. Their license plate is clearly visible. They post videos on their social media. And they've been doing it for some time. They've been investigating for some time too. They just have no idea. The level of incompetence not to be able to locate them is off the charts. How can they go after more sophisticated crime? How can they go after your everyday murder, apparently? Holy smoke. I don't have any confidence that anything is going to be done about any of the massive crimes that are happening, including the border hopping that's going on and is rampant. And we just keep apparently giving them money and all sorts of other things. And apparently it's a huge boon for the banks. So this is an incentive structure to keep this whole program of ignoring our border laws, ignoring our immigration laws, and giving people who don't belong here, are illegal to be here, all sorts of benefits, like billions of dollars in loans and things like that, in zero interest loans, I guess, too. Cosman says the most important immigration statistic nobody's talking about. Quote, new to Canada consumers drove new consumer loan balances last year $3.5 billion compared to the new to credit Canadians. That's $1 billion. So how much incentive do these banks get in a monetary and a dollar value to be supportive of these programs, of these programs to give all these loans to all these people? Billions of dollars of incentives. They have no wish to stop this. They'll hand out iPads to newcomers all day long, but the regular Canadians can just shut up and sit down. You represent a quarter, less than a quarter of the total pie. So just be quiet, guys, right? What? But that's how they treat us. We're not big business. We're $1 billion compared to $3.5 billion. They'll serve those customers all day long, right? We can wait. Unbelievable. And that's monetary incentive. That's not racism. That's just monetary incentive, but it turns into racism. Colonel Utaka says, it's an honor to have Elon Musk commenting on my post. To answer your question, Elon Musk asks, why has the Prime Minister of Japan done this? And the post says, Prime Minister Ishaba, you are a traitor. You are the cancer in Japan. The Japanese public demand the resignation and expulsion of the prime minister in response to mass immigration. And Elon saying, why has Japan done this? And to answer the question, it's because of the JICA. The JICA functions as the Japanese equivalent to the U.S. aid. We have one too. It's functioning now. It is incentivizing banks and doing far worse. JICA was responsible for the controversial African Hometown Initiative, which is supported by Ishaba's government under the belief of tackling Chinese influence in Africa. So it's a bad idea. The African African Hometown thing is building a place for African migrants to come and live, and people in Japan don't like it. Like, why would we do this? This is insane. Stop it. And so Elon Musk is taking quite an active interest in what's going on. But again, I don't know how you can just like blindly trust Elon Musk either. There are brain chips and Terminators, and he's got his fingers in all sorts of eyebrow-raising pies. So I digress. He is shining a light on this. British Patriot says protests erupt in Japan, demanding the deportation of all illegal migrants. From Australia to Europe to Japan, citizens are uniting for remigration. The globalist agenda is crumbling. Maybe crumbling, but they're fighting for it. They're fighting really hard for it. Here's Japan. I'm sure they're saying, immigrants out. Get rid of the immigrants. That sounds exactly like what they're saying. But, I don't know. I'm not translating directly. I'm just para-translating. Basil the Great says, breaking, Epping locals refuse to pay council tax. Ooh, we're at the tax revolt phase of this whole war. That'll be fun. So they're going to refuse to pay council tax after a high court ruling keeps migrant hotels open. A new way to protest just started. The British are going to stop paying their taxes. And so that's very, very interesting. And I hope that works, but I have a feeling people are just going to get thrown in jail for not paying their taxes, and they'll get demonized like they're bad people who don't pay their taxes or something like that. And I think that's probably not the right way to deal with that. But I think that's where we're going to go. Here's Jack. He says the residents of Epping are calling out to Elon Musk, and I don't know if this is going to be effective. I feel like it's not going to be effective because, just yelling for Elon Musk, it's the same as calling for Superman. Like Superman, come and help us. But people like this idea. So here we go.
Help us out! Elon, help us out! Stop the fucking soldiers out! Elon, help us out! Stop the fucking soldiers out! Elon, help us out! Stop the fucking soldiers out! Elon. Hey, everybody!
And here is, Here is a woman getting arrested for. Actually, I've got this clip for you first. Just got to do it like this. Here we go. Here is Labour.
As a government saying, this is what we inherited.
Labour MP.
Even you're in as a government.
It's going too fast and it's in the wrong spot. Labour MP, this lady, what's her name? Bridget Phillipson is asked if she agrees with the Home Office that the rights of illegal migrants are more important than the rights of the people of Epping. And she says, oh, yes, of course. Well, that's of course the correct way to deal with this, right? Sorry, I've got to change the speed because this is on Telegram, so apologies for this. But here we go now. Here's the question and the answer.
This is what we inherited, right? There was a widespread use of asylum hotels by the Conservatives that increased enormously at enormous cost.
Yeah, you keep
to the
going back
taxpayer.
to Conservative.
And
I want to ask
yes,
you,
but it won't be a quick fix. We will sort it.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear? And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. Even a year in, as a government, say.
So there you go. We of course we agree with what our lawyers say. Of course we agree that the rights of the migrants is more important than the people of Epping. Wild, right? And she's a Labour MP. She's part of the government, so not so good. That's pretty bad. Here's a lady being arrested. Elon Musk taking a notice. They yelled for Superman, and Superman showed up. Elon Musk says this is crazy. The British Patriot says a woman has been arrested for flying a British flag at Epping Council building. Britain is a Soviet state. Yep, here we go. It's going to be loud. Hold on. We'll turn it down. I caught it in time. Here we go.
But it looks like the police are trying to cause a scene. Look at that. Look what they're doing! Look what the police are doing! What are they doing? What are the police doing here?
It's not safe on these stairs, comrade. For your safety, you need to move down the stairs and stop watching these police assault that woman there. For your safety, of course, comrade. Right? Oof. If raising your own country's flag is seen as an act of rebellion, then maybe your country is under foreign occupation. England, Canada, Australia, maybe, could be. Here is Ian, and he says, police are now making random arrests of anyone carrying the English flag. Think about that. The flag of your own country is now contraband. It's about conditioning people to be ashamed of who they are, to fear even showing their own national identity. So this kid on a bike is being harassed by police for flying his Union Jack, right? And, Twitter. Multiple examples. We'll just move on. Libs of TikTok says if you criticize mass immigration, the police in the United Kingdom will arrest you. So that's not good, right? I think not good. Here's Elon Musk again, and he's responding to Liz Truss. And Liz Truss says, we know whose side they're on, and it's not the people of England. And here's the video. This is the video I thought I didn't have. Here we go. This is the same one.
Your lawyers, under your guidance, have said in terms that the rights of asylum seekers are more important than the rights of local people in Epping Forest. Would you at least acknowledge that that is what they will hear? And it's up to you. Ministers can say, we agree with that, or we don't agree with it. You can't simply say, let's balance things. Do you agree with what your lawyers said, or don't you?
Yes, of course we do. But
of course we do. Of course we agree. Yep. So, wild stuff. And Elon Musk says, in response to this whole thing, if the current British government is not on the side of the people of Britain, then they are, by definition, traitors. It seems that is so. Here is further invasion, but not in England. CP24 is trying to make the case, and they're trying to appeal to your humanity. Oh no, this man is sick in Gaza and we've got to save him, says CP24. Please save my brother, a Palestinian Canadian pleads. Palestinian Canadian, what's that? Pleads to get a sibling out of Gaza for surgery. And Dacey says, how many Canadians should die so this guy can jump the line? National Post is reporting when was this originally? January 15th of this year. So it's been 8 months and I doubt this has gotten better. More than 74,000 Canadians have died on healthcare waiting lists since 2018. So should this guy be flown in from Gaza to have surgery to save his life while 74,000 Canadians are dying on wait lists? No. How about no? How about nope, not our responsibility. Nope. Not at all. Here's Paula, and she says, this is the way intruders in Canada behave as well when they have their sword-carrying rallies, no arrests, no bank accounts frozen, no rubber bullets or pepper spray, no trampling horses. Canadians are treated so much worse than the intruders. I wonder why. And Dr. Malouf says, Muslim migrant in Germany says, when we become the majority, we'll take over Germany by force. German laws will be replaced by Sharia law. If anyone stands against us, we will attack them. Christians and Jews will have to convert or leave. And lots of people say, I believe this guy. I think I believe him too. I don't think he's saying things that he doesn't himself believe. Here is Australia, same thing going on. There are protests, clashes break out at a rally in Australia against immigration. Here we go. So remember during the G20, there would be people who were flown in, and Black Bloc maybe, and they covered their faces, and they were there to cause problems. They threw bricks through windows. They did all sorts of stuff, and they caused problems. It seems like those types of people go to these protests to cause problems, to cause violence, and it's very easy to tip a crowd into, to move a crowd over into being unruly. And if you know what you're doing in order to do that, like you target some people who maybe look like they could be on the edge, and then you start picking away at them until they go over the edge, and then that is contagious. And so you can easily manipulate a crowd if you know what you're doing, and these guys know what they're doing and they know what their goal is. And so it's very interesting because oftentimes our society puts ourselves into situations where we're trying to send one message to the government, and that message gets usurped by people who know how to manipulate the crowd into maybe something else. And maybe that whole position gets undermined because of violence at the rally, and then that violence is used as an excuse to crack down on the crowd. And so the action that you tried to send a message one way to the government, stop infringing on our rights, turns into an excuse by the government to infringe on your rights even more, right? And it's like happens all the time, right? All the time. Ryan Garrettson, we got to say goodbye to the stream really soon, but I just wanted to get through this invasion part, and then we'll move on. And then we'll go to the paid show on CanadaPoly.com. Ryan Garrettson says, anyone notice the difference in reporting? When you go against the government's plans, they disparage you and create false narratives. They hide your YouTube channel, and they take away your YouTube channel for years, things like that. And when they support you, they don't add any spin. If they didn't like the pro-Hamas protests, the media would have wrote tens of thousands march across Australia in support of Palestine, many with ties to terrorist organizations. Right. It's the same thing, right? And so here's Globe and Mail saying thousands in Australia rally against immigration. Government links protests to neo-Nazis. Oh yes, those neo-Nazis. Those neo-Nazis are to blame for this unrest, not our immigration policies. Clashes as thousands rally against immigration in Australia.